I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think I like winter. Or at least I love winter when there's snow out in the forest on my walks. Don't get me wrong, I still hate extreme cold weathers or extreme hot weather, but it's so pretty. Hi guys, welcome to a cottage writing vlog. If I look tired, it's because I am. Yes, I am. I don't know, my sleep schedule, still working on it. It's been months, I know, but it's a uphill battle. I'm feeling like Sisyphus over here with this sleep schedule, but it's okay. Some days are good, most days are bad, but we will persevere. I have been writing, so I wanted to do a quick little writing vlog at the cottage. I'm mostly focusing on writing, reading stuff for my writing, researching stuff, watching videos for the book that I'm writing. For those of you who don't know, right now I'm writing a vampire book, but it's not like strictly vampire. I don't know how to explain it. Yes, it's a vampire focused book, but it has so much more to it. I don't want to give too much away because I am working through some of the kinks of my story, but I think at some point when it's close to done, I will start opening up more because I don't want to... I don't know, it's not that I fear that someone might take my idea, but I fear that like someone might take my tagline, if that makes sense. Anyways, so I'm a bit cryptic, but not too much. Like, I will tell you what I'm like researching a little bit. I will tell you what I'm reading and how much work I've got done. So for example, for this manuscript, we're following a main character and she has these close friends, and then she has a friend that disappeared and he's back now, and there's all this tension because it's implied that he did something atrocious to her and betrayed her. Then he got into an accident and he moved away from the town that they grew up in and from the friend group, you know. Basically you have like these 4 musketeers that are very tight-knit, and now one of the members, like the oldest member and the one that everyone looks up to, is gone. And yeah, I'm just piecing things as I go. It's not really a romance, it's lit fic slash vampire slash horror, I guess. I've been slowly collecting more material to read to expand the world and to expand like the horrifying aspects. So I was watching a video yesterday by Jean's Bookish Thoughts, and she's a historian. She does a lot of Greek and Roman mythology on her channel, and she basically was talking about her like favorite books of 2024, and she mentioned this book called Night Terrors. And when I heard about this book, I was like, I need to get a copy. Funny, I couldn't find a copy on Chapters, so I had to like go online and try to find some kind of copy. And then at some point last night when I was writing and doing some more research, I realized that since my characters are aware of like vampire literature, because they are into vampire literature, this is like before they discover vampires exist and whatnot, they're studying kind of like vampire literature. And although I've read most of all the classic vampire books and literature, I realized that I have never taken a class where we get to discuss the like big overarching themes and how vampire literature corresponds with, you know, the socio-political climate of the times where the stories and the myths came about, you know, like, and I've been doing that kind of research, and I'm realizing how dense it is and how much there is to it. And yeah, it's just like every time I start a story, I think it's gonna be so easy and straightforward, and that I'll be able to rely on what I've read and already intuitively know. And then I come to these crossroads where I'm like, you know what, actually it wouldn't hurt me to learn more. And because, you know, when I get like these special interests, I just want to consume more anyways. So now I'm like going to shelve a little bit the vampire fiction, and I'm gonna start going into the vampire nonfiction. So I did get a few of those nonfiction vampire books, but I will probably talk about that on a separate video or a separate vlog, because unfortunately these books for some reason will take about 2-3 weeks to get shipped. So now I'm like, oh my god, I wish I knew this beforehand, and I wish I, you know, researched more thoroughly before I started writing. But that's okay, because I feel like I still have my story to carry along. And because I'm trying to write a clean draft, that means I'm trying to write and then edit and write and edit. Not like super edits, but enough editing so that I know exactly what needs to be added and what needs to be changed, so that once I am done with a first draft, I'm not going to be so overwhelmed or so repulsed by the draft, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's the update for now. Right now I'm going to be writing in my writer's notebook. I'm now keeping different notebooks for like daily writing, and I also have a separate notebook for the story itself. So yeah, I'm just writing things down, researching, and as I'm writing, like the story is just unraveling. People are coming in and out, and little like trails are forming, and yeah, that's just how I draft. No matter how much I outline or plan, and I'm not really much of an outliner or a planner, I still get surprised. And I think that's why I don't like having strict outlines or strict plans when writing. I know more or less the big dramatic beats, and I know more or less the ending, and it's just the, you know, the ride, like the roller coaster ride in between, which is actually my favorite part. And I don't know why I forgot that. It's my drafting is like my favorite part, because I'm always like going to bed with, oh my god, what's gonna happen next? And then I realize like this is my story. So as much as I know what's gonna happen next, I also don't know until I sit down and write. And I don't know, I'm just a different person. Like I made a joke on my Instagram today that like anytime I'm drafting or writing something, I tend to like become what I draft. So since I'm writing about a vampire, I'm like getting pale, my eyes are getting red and bloodshot. I'm like, you know, engaging in nocturnal activities. I'm like staying up at night, and I don't know, I think it's like a physical representation of my own ailments. I put them in my novels, and whatever like I'm dealing with, I just give it to my character. Like I know it's like self-insert, but it's not really self-insert, because I deal with so much and I feel so many different things that I feel like all my characters are very different, even if they have some similarities. And yeah, so that's that. That's a long update. I will update later on once I start doing some reading. I have with me Fledgling by Octavia E. Butler. I've never read any Butler books before, and I heard that she's amazing, especially since she uses a lot of like sci-fi in her literature. And I also have some of Byron's travels that I want to read, and some of Shelley's poems. And yeah, I think that's about it. And then I'll come back and let you know what I think about the books that I'm reading and my writing. Maybe I will get some writing done as well. And well, I mean, I have to get some writing done. That's the whole purpose of this vlog, but I don't know how much. I don't want to do a word count goal anymore. I know like at first I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna write like 10k a day, and now I'm like, you know what, no, I'm enjoying this too much to be doing that to myself. I'm going to like stick with at least writing 1,000 words a day, right? Because that's my goal anyways. But you know, I want to make sure that I'm not just drafting to draft either, you know. I want to draft intentionally, if that makes sense, and I really want to enjoy my time because this is a book that's been like in my head and near my heart for the last year and a half, and for once that I'm like gaining momentum into it, I want to like keep that momentum going. So I'm not too pressed. Maybe I will do a 10K day, right, when I am even more involved in my novel. Right now, as it stands, I'm about 10,000 words in, and I started the year at around 5,000 to 6,000 words, and we're January 4th, so been writing a consistent like 1,100 words a day. And I do think that today I might write a little bit more just because I have a little bit of a head start. But first, I need to get some reading done because I have not been reading so far this year, like not my normal type of reading. And I do need to read certain things for my novel, if that makes sense.